You two could swap clothes very nicely, Mason said, making conversation.
Except that I've nothing to swap,
Arlene Duval said. Your clothes were stolen.
Everything was stolen,
Mason said. Your phone call certainly furnished a welcome change in the humdrum of a routine day.
Are your days ever routine?
Too many of them, she laughed.
I'm pretty well satisfied Miss Street thought I had worked out a novel method of arousing your interest. That...
Was it? Mason asked. She shook her head. If it had been, Mason told her, it would still have worked. Anyone who had ingenuity and daring enough to plan a scheme of that sort would have aroused both interest and curiosity.
Unfortunately, I can't claim any credit for what was probably an original approach.
What happened? Mason asked.
It's a long story.
Mason led the way up to the veranda, ordered drinks, then settled back in the chair. Let's hear the story.
I was living in a trailer.
All by yourself? She nodded. In a trailer camp?
Only part of the time. There's a service road that runs to the back of the golf course. Very few people know of it. I think perhaps I was the only one who traveled that road regularly. When they bought the course, it was part of a large tract of land. There's a long wooded stretch down below the 14th hole and a stretch of sloping grassy meadow. Then there are more woods and then the highway. I found that I could drive in on this service road, park my trailer, and have complete privacy. No one seemed to object. In fact, I don't think anyone ever went down to that part of the club. It must be 200 yards in an airline from the meadow to the nearest fairway, and it's probably another 200 yards in an airline to the road. It is, of course, longer the way the service road winds in through the woods.
Go on, Mason said. She met his eyes.
I'm a nature girl. I like to get out and prowl around through the woods. I like to go barefooted. I like to take all my clothes off and brown in the sun.
What, Mason asked, do you do for a living?
At the moment, nothing.
All right, what about losing your things?
This morning I followed my usual routine. I'd stayed down in the meadow all night. In fact, I'd been down there about 3 nights, parked with my house trailer.
Weren't you afraid?
No. After all, a house trailer is about the safest place one can be. When you lock the door from the inside, there's no way anyone can get in. Even if they smashed the windows, it wouldn't help. The windows are too small for a person to climb in from the outside.
So this morning you went sunbathing?
I followed my usual custom. I slipped out of my clothes, took a robe, crossed the open meadow into the woods, then took the light robe off and just walked around in the sunlight for a while, feeling the air on my skin, the grass on my bare feet. You'll probably think I'm crazy. If you haven't been a sunbather, you'll never understand the freedom, the caress of the air, the warmth of the sunlight, the touch of a passing breeze. Oh, what's the use?
Go on, Mason said. Tell me about what happened.
Well,
she said,
when I went back to where my car and trailer should have been, there wasn't any car and there wasn't any trailer.
You're sure? She nodded. You couldn't have mistaken the place.
Heavens, no, I never lose my way in the open, and I've been out here for, well, ever since it began to get warm.
Your ignition keys? Mason asked.
I have the ignition key to the automobile and the key to the door of the trailer in this little key container that was in the pocket of the light robe. But anyone who really wants to take an automobile doesn't need to bother with an ignition key. Isn't there some way they can short-circuit the wires behind the dash?
You called me instead of the police. The way Mason made the statement, it was more of a question than an assertion.
Naturally. Can you imagine a girl attired in a diaphanous wisp of sunlight, having 2 police officers from a radio car determining what had been stolen by taking an inventory of what was left? And, of course, that would make a beautiful story for the newspapers. I can just see the headlines. Sunbathing blonde loses everything except smile and suntan. And then, of course, newspaper photographers would want pictures with the proper backlighting.
Was there, Mason asked, some other reason?
For not calling the police?
Mason nodded. She toyed with her glass for a moment, then met his eyes.
Yes.
What?
I think, well, the police may have been the ones who were behind the whole thing.
You mean that the police stole your car and trailer? She nodded. Why?
Because they wanted to search it carefully, thoroughly, and at their leisure.
Looking for what?
My diary, probably.
And why were the police interested in your diary? She said.
Mr. Mason, you're going to have to take me on trust.
You haven't put up much collateral so far.
I don't mean as far as money is concerned.